Hey everyone, it's Roy here and welcome back to English Right Now. And I thought in this lesson we'd do a bit of British accent training in the form of 10 words, the pronunciation of 10 words. Well, actually there's a few more. Now, these 10 words are words that you requested. Now, the other day I went onto Instagram, onto social media, and asked you which words you would like me to pronounce to teach you to say in a modern British RP accent. And honestly, you sent me a lot. And as I said, I was going to choose 10 words and I've ended up doing 15, but that's what happens. So in this lesson, we're going to look at the pronunciation of 15 words. Now, don't worry if your suggestions didn't get picked. I will make another video. I've got so many words and honestly, keep them coming because I can keep making lessons like this. But the first word was suggested in the comments and that was this word. Now, the pronunciation of this word in a modern British RP accent is literature. Literature. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first. Literature. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first. Now, you may hear some people add an extra schwa, literature, but most people pronounce it with 3 syllables, literature. And notice that as an isolated word, we don't pronounce the R. We only pronounce the R if this word is in a sentence and the next word starts with an open vowel sound. That's because of the linking R. But this word is literature. So now let's take a look at these 2 words. In a modern British RP accent, this first word is world. World. And the other word is word. So we have world and word. So let's take a look at that one first. So we have w, and that beautiful kind of long sound. It's the same sound we see in a word like bird. And then we have the dark L, which is kind of like an ul sound. So we make this w, ul, d. World. World. Don't try to make the light L. Don't try to make that l, because it won't work. It'll sound like welada, and that's not right. World. And this word is the same sort of word, but without the dark L. So it's w, d. Word. So this is world and this is word. 3 words down, but now it is time for number 3. And again, it is another pair of words and it is these 2 words. So here we have sheep and here we have ship. Sheep, ship. Now, this is a commonly requested pair of words, and it all comes down to the vowel sound that comes in the middle. So let's take a look at this one first. This is sheep. So it is sh, e, p. So that E vowel sound is a long E vowel sound. Look at the shape of my mouth. E, E. So we hold that vowel sound for a slight period of time. It's like sheep, sheep. Now, if we compare it with this one, it's ship, ship. So we have sh, I, p. In the top word, the vowel sound is E, and in the bottom word, it is I. Hold the vowel sound if you want to make it sound like the animal that goes bah, and if you want to talk about the thing that goes on water, it's a short I vowel sound. Sheep, ship. And now let's move on to a really commonly requested word, and it's this one. This actually has 2 pronunciations in a modern British RP accent. We have the strong form, we have the weak form. So the strong form is were, It's the same vowel sound we saw in the words world and word. That's the strong form. Now, we tend to use strong forms when we really want to stress it or when we sort of say the word on its own. Were. Now, the weak form is much more common in everyday speech, in natural speech, and it is were. So it's the w and a schwa. Were. We were walking. We were walking. So in a natural sort of sentence, we were walking. So this word can be pronounced were as the strong form or were as the weak form. And if you do want to learn more about the schwa, I've done a whole video teaching you what the schwa is and how to use it and how common it is in a modern British RP accent. I will link it somewhere up here and down in the description below, but I really recommend you check that out if you really want to master a modern British RP accent. And now it's time for number 5, and this word is thoroughly. Thoroughly. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first syllable. So that first syllable is th, the unvoiced th sound. Then we have the same vowel sound that is in cup, and then a r. We voice the r in this word. Thoroughly. Thoroughly. Then in the middle, we have a schwa. Thorough. Thorough. And then that last syllable is li. And it's a l and an e sound. But it's a shorter variant of the same sound that appears in the word sheep. So this word is thoroughly. 3 syllables, stress on the first. And now let's look at these 2 words. So the first word is pearl. And the second word is girl. So probably, if we're honest, girl is more commonly used than pearl. But I decided to include them both because, I can, and they were requested. So that first word is pearl. Again with that dark L. So it's not pearl, it's pearl. Pearl. So again we have that vowel sound. It's the same one we saw in word, in world, and also in the strong form of were. And this word, the only difference, they rhyme, the only difference is that it starts with a g sound. So it is g-ol. Girl. Pearl. Girl. And now let's look at this 4-syllable word. In a modern British RP accent, this word is scenario. Scenario. 4 syllables, the stress falls on the second syllable. So that first syllable is s-i. So notice that in the first syllable, the C is silent. We don't say scenario. It's scenario. Scenario. So it's s-i. The second syllable, which is the stressed syllable, is n-ah. That's such an important sound in a modern British RP accent, that ah sound, the long ah vowel sound. Now, to make this sound, we open our mouths nice and wide, sort of ah, sonar, sonar. The third syllable is re. So we say the r sound, and then we have e, sonari, sonari. And then we end with that o, scenario. Also ends with that diphthong o, which is really common in a modern British RP accent. Scenario, scenario. 4 syllables, the stress falls on the second syllable. And now it's time for one of the most commonly requested words that I get, and that's this. This word is February. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first. So that first syllable is f-e-b, feb, feb. The second syllable is r-u. And the third syllable is r-e, February, February. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first. Now, interestingly, you will hear some people pronounce it with 4 and say February, February. And you will also hear some people pronounce it with 2 and just say February, February. I think it cuts out a lot of that noise in the middle. But the most standard pronunciation of this word tends to be February, February. 3 syllables, the stress is on the first. And now, let's take a look at these 3 words. So, this is bear, bear, and beer. So, let's take a look at the top 2 first. They're homophones. They sound exactly the same. Now, the first one is b-air, and the second one is b-air. Basically, they both start with the b, and then we move into that diphthong air, which is the same sound as the word air, the air that we breathe. B-air. So we have bear and bear. And this one, in contrast, is beer. Beer. So we have b-ear, like this. So it's b-ear. So we have bear, bear, beer. But notice that in all 3 of these words, when they're isolated, we do not pronounce that R. Now, if they're followed in a sentence by an open vowel sound, again, the linking R, we do pronounce the R sound, but not as an isolated word or when it's followed by a consonant sound. And now the final suggestion is this one, enhance. 2 syllables, the stress is on the second syllable, enhance. So the first syllable is I, n, in. The second syllable is h, r, again that long R vowel sound, n and s. Enhance. Enhance. thank you very much to everyone who sent me requests. Keep them coming. You can add some more in the comments below. And if you do want to improve your modern British RP accent and learn about all things British English, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and please do like this video as it really helps me out. But from me today, all it leaves me to say is thank you very much for watching. Please do add some more suggestions in the comments below, and I will see you in the next class. Bye.